All right. Hi, everybody. Dr. Nikita Vizniak here with the amazing.
Dr. Catherine Chung.
And today we are going to be talking about the vegan diet, one of my favorite diets. And of course, all of this information is coming from our evidence-informed nutrition text, 3 easy steps to feeling better. You can do it.
We
We
can
can
help.
help. And we're eating for optimal health here. So the vegan diet is on page 68. And if we go ahead and click to that one right away, we can see what this is. I don't even know. What is a vegan diet, Dr. Chung?
Well, a vegan diet is it's pretty much just plant-based and plant-forward, essentially. And there's so many variations, and it's all on a spectrum, right? How far into veganism you want. You can be, if the bees touched it, then you're not going to have it. You can be raw vegan. So it is quite a spectrum of a diet, but
There's
all
a
plant-based.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of benefits here. So no animal products at all is what you're looking at here, right? And the spectrum varies quite a bit, but there's a lot of reasons to choose a vegan diet. Number one, for the environment, it winds up being a better choice. If you look at greenhouse gas emissions, the more animal protein you eat, the substantially higher the greenhouse gas emissions are. If you look at the ethical, harvesting of animals and slaughterhouses and things like that, that may be another reason that you choose it. Even health, it is up there with the DASH diet and Mediterranean diet. Veganism as a plant-based diet form can offer significant benefit. Now, for my own personal story, because I like to try out a lot of these diets that we have in this book, I did a whole foods vegan diet. And that was a difficult diet for me to do the first time. Number one, making sure I could actually get enough nutrients. When I did it, I actually lost about 10 pounds, and I only weigh about 170 on a good day, 175. So for me to lose 10 pounds to get down to 165, I did look quite thin on it. I just was not quite getting enough calories in. And that's what a lot of people will say when they first start and try these diets out. But I would suggest to you for a multitude of reasons that this diet probably is one of the better choices for long-term sustainability and overall health.
Well, and even those diets that you had mentioned, the DASH, the Mediterranean diet, they were actually plant-based diets as well. They're
Yeah.
just not plant-exclusive diets.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were talking about that right before we started recording this. The DASH diet actually started off as a plant-based diet, but they found a lot of people in North America couldn't stick to it because they needed some source of animal protein or something, so they felt more full.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yep,
right.
exactly.
Okay, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at excludes all animal products, even things like eggs, dairy, seafood. People just don't get it. Even honey technically could be considered an animal product. And I should say this, you can do good vegan diets or you can do a crappy vegan diet. There is garbage food that you can eat as a vegan and claim, oh, I'm super healthy, blah, blah, blah. And that's in fact not the case, which is why I chose the whole foods vegan diet. So I know that I had minimal processing in it.
Well, that's an important delineation, Dr. Nick, in terms of what a processed vegan diet really looks like. And that can be that it is all plant-based technically, but are you going to eat like edamame, so like soybeans as a whole, or are you going to eat tofurkey? Like they're
Mm-hmm.
both technically plant-based, but one's going to be more highly processed, right? And more highly processed means higher inflammation rates, which then is counterproductive to a lot of these therapeutic uses of this vegan diet.
Absolutely. And if you look at it, I mean, if there's a product that some company can sell and it says vegan on it, they're going to try and make it. There's vegan ice creams and stuff that are absolutely terrible for you, that have ultra high sugar content, all kinds of fillers and other chemicals into them. And it's just not a good quality source for you to be eating from those. In fact, it might even be worse than having being on the vegan diet itself.
Yep,
All right.
exactly.
All right, so therapeutic uses, number one, and we know this across the board, plant-based diets reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease, anywhere from 2.5 times to 4 times. I've seen up to 8 times reduction in risk of cardiovascular disease. This means heart attack, atherosclerosis, and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And then another one would be diabetes. Just having a lower carbohydrate, a high plant-based diet, you will improve your insulin sensitivity, but you will also reduce your blood sugar, what's it called, ups and downs. So
Yeah.
the peaks and then the crashes as well, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Pe
imperative for diabetes control.
yeah, peaks and valleys of diabetes. And I think this is one of the most unsung heroes of these plant-based diets and forms. Is diabetes for most people isn't much of a problem until you start getting exactly what Dr. Chung was saying into those extreme peaks or extreme valleys where you can actually go into seizures and have all kinds of negative outcomes and potentially even death in severe cases from it. But most people don't recognize that. And you're playing the long game here with increasing your insulin sensitivity and lowering the glycemic index ultimately that you're getting from these diets.
Hmm.
All right, hypertension, another benefit. Tell us more, Dr. Chung.
Well, with the vegetarian or a vegan type of diet, there's going to be a reduction in blood pressure specifically, and it helps reduce the use of blood pressure medication, which is
Nice.
ultimately the biggest goal that we want for a lot of our patients is to reduce the dosage or even get them off of it. And the reason for that is just because of the balanced nutritional aspects in plant-based diets that don't have the high saturated and unsaturated fats. They're not high in salt, even naturally how you're cooking them.
Hmm.
That will have an important role in hypertension control.
Yeah, absolutely. And our next item is going to be even reducing the risk of or development of prostate cancer, benign prostatic hypertrophy. Those
Mm-hmm.
can be reduced. We can see a reduction by 4%. Even we're going to be talking about fasting in future videos. I've got one of my mentors, Dr. Daniel Delap, who had an elevated prostate serum antigen level when I was in school as he was my mentor there, and he went on to a vegan diet, and then he went into a fasting diet and was able to reverse all of his levels with it. So it was great to see
Oh,
there.
100%. Well, a lot of the just not specifically with prostate cancer, but a lot of cancer research is looking at if you have a vegan or a low sugar diet,
Mhm.
it essentially starves out the cancer cells, right? They don't have anything to use to grow.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's another way that you can kind of envision why a plant-based or vegan diet can be helpful for cancers.
Excellent. And now one of the big ones that a lot of people are interested in, a vegan diet can help me lose weight. What?
Hmm. I mean, it's going to be so filling in your stomach, and when we're looking at caloric density,
Mhm.
then if you're naturally going to be eating a lot more roughage or volume, but have a lower amount of calories that you're intaking. And that's something that you had noticed, Dr. Nick, when you had mentioned your own vegan journey as well, that you just couldn't get enough calories in.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'll give you a couple of stories in this one. So the first thing is this. So number one, it was my first time doing a whole foods vegan diet, and I was religious and strict about it. So like I like to go to Subway and load up with a bunch of vegetables. I wouldn't even do that because the bread wasn't right or whatever else it was. So for me to find enough food was tricky. I had good support from a lot of people and doctors and therapists around me who were actually bringing me food, trying to eat enough. But I can
Mhm.
remember one day in particular, there was a piece of chicken left out on the counter in our house, and I was like a shark. I was just circling around. I'm like, where is this? And I had to walk around it, and my behavior was totally changed because of it, because I was just craving it so badly. And it was only about 3 weeks in, and I didn't have that piece of chicken, but you could see how my body, my mind, and my existence was nourishing for something like that as part of an intake right there. My own weight loss, like I was saying earlier, that for me to lose 9 pounds, that is a lot of weight. And I was also lifting fairly heavy at the time, doing a lot of jujitsu and everything. So my physical activity level was up. My testosterone levels went crazy high. We were actually measuring these during the actual process there, and it was something like 3 times the level that it should have been. And another good doctor that we know, Dr. Matt Nagra, is a big advocate of vegan diet. He lives the vegan lifestyle, and it's the same thing. Your testosterone levels go way up. I don't want to say I was more aggressive, but I could definitely feel faster on the mats, throw more weight around. I think I got my pull-ups up to 25, good form pull-ups because we were doing pull-up competitions, all that kind of stuff at that time too. So all of that makes a difference. And that's what I noticed when I was on the vegan diet was number one, the calorie density was a little bit looser for me, a little bit lighter. So I was big part of the weight loss, but also I just felt present and there. Like we were out, we went on our family vacation, and my youngest daughter, who was like 5 at the time, we were in Barkerville looking at some kind of old 1800s mining town thing. And the host was asking everybody, "Hey, everybody, what do you do for a living? Or what do you do for a living? Because chances are your jobs didn't live back here." And you hear this little girl who's like all of 5 years old, "My dad's a vegan," in front of this big crowd of people. And it was pretty funny. And a lot of people can't relate to it, don't understand what it is. But the reason I just brought that up was just hilarious and related to the veganism. But I was doing that while we were on vacation too. And I found it particularly difficult to find restaurants and food sources that would cater to the nutrients that I needed to get into my body to maintain the lack of animal proteins and everything else.
Well, that's the biggest thing, right? And that's what I talk to my patients about when they want to start exploring more vegan diet. Is actually not to necessarily jump straight into the vegan diet, but almost do more of like a plant forward or a plant-based diet,
Mm-hmm.
and then do that for about 3, 4 weeks, and then transition to the vegan. because it trains your mind into doing a little bit more planning, understanding, okay, like these are the restaurants that I can go to and stuff, and doing a little bit more prep. Because vegan lifestyle diets, I find, are a lot of prep.
Yeah, difficult to maintain. In fact, that was the biggest thing. The support that I had, Dr.
Mm,
Alexandra Dragon was one of them too. She's a big vegan. She was bringing me plates of casserole dishes full of food, trying to convert me over and everything like this, right? So, and it
yep.
was good and I appreciated it, but it was just, again, when you're out traveling and stuff, if you're not super educated and hadn't done it before, which was my first time really giving it an honest go, it was difficult to find places. So, yeah. What else can we say? Additional benefits outside of the weight loss. These 7-day Adventists, which are also in the blue zone groups where we see big health there, 15% reduction in all causes of mortality, and vegans in general, lower cancer risk, just like Dr. Chung was saying earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can also see the benefits there for stroke, Alzheimer's, liver, renal disease, inflammatory conditions. You name the condition, your plant-based diet is probably going to offer you benefit. Risks, of course, associated with this are vitamin B12, cobalamin deficiencies can happen with this. So how do we
Mm-hmm.
supplement that, Dr. Chung?
The easiest way, well, nutritional yeast technically has a bit of B12 in it as well. The easiest way is just to have a little, like, just you might have to just take a supplement for it. And I usually supplement about, I supplement a little bit higher, not gonna lie. I do
Mhm.
like probably 1,000 micrograms a day. There are two different what's it called forms, and we can see that under supplementation, vitamin B12, methylcobalamin versus cyanocobalamin. I find if you have some genetic or methylation issues,
Mhm.
then methylcobalamin would be the generally the better one, which is why I usually recommend just go with that one instead of just going through all your genetic testing and stuff. Just take the one that is like already readily available for you. So
Mhm.
B12 would probably be the top one of the things that I would supplement all of my plant-based or vegan patients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Of course, vitamin D maintains that, but of
Mm-hmm.
course, just sun exposure is going to help you with that.
Yeah. 10 to
And
15 minutes.
yeah, yep, exactly. And then you can see right here, this is one of my favorite quotes from Dr. Williams, the past president of the American College of Cardiology. So this is big time research right here. There are two types of cardiologists, the vegans and those who haven't read the research. I think it's a fantastic quote right there. It
Yep.
is clear how beneficial these are for your overall health. A vegan-based diet is, or a plant-based diet is one of the most well-researched, well-documented resources and ideas that you should carry forward into your diet and program.
Yep. I think at the end of it, a lot of all the diets that we're doing or all the lifestyle stuff we're doing, the biggest takeaway is just be plant and fruit forward
Yep.
as much as possible. No
Yep.
matter how, like all the other stuff, just really focus on those fruit and veg, high color, high variation,
Mhm.
and you will have the longevity that you want.
All right. The longevity and the quality of life that you want as well. Those will make
Mm-hmm.
huge benefits and strides forward for you. All right, Dr.
Exactly.
Chung, thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure to have you here. We will see you on the next video.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Bye.